Top short, top short story about greedy dogs. Once upon a time, in a small village, there were two dogs named Max and Bella. They were known to be the greediest dogs in the entire village. Max and Bella were always on the lookout for food and would do anything to get their paws on some tasty treats. One sunny afternoon, the village was buzzing with excitement as a food festival was being set up in the town square. The aroma of delicious food filled the air, and people from all around had gathered to enjoy the feast. Max and Bella, being the greedy dogs they were, couldn't resist the temptation. As the festival began, the two dogs stealthily made their way to the back of the food stalls, hiding behind crates and bushes. They observed the people devouring mouth-watering dishes and couldn't help but salivate at the sight. Max, being the more cunning of the two, devised a plan to get their paws on the food. He whispered to Bella, "Let's wait until everyone is busy enjoying their meals. Then, we can swoop in and grab whatever we can." Bella eagerly agreed, and they waited patiently for the perfect moment. As the afternoon wore on, the villagers became engrossed in their conversations, laughter, and the delightful food. Max and Bella knew it was time to make their move. With their eyes gleaming with excitement, they dashed toward the nearest food stall. Max skillfully grabbed a juicy chicken leg, while Bella snatched a piece of cheese. They quickly devoured their stolen treasures, savoring the taste of victory. But their greed did not stop there. The dogs continued their thieving spree, moving from one stall to another, snatching food left and right. People began to notice their missing dishes and started searching for the culprits. Max and Bella, oblivious to the chaos they had caused, kept on stealing, their bellies growing fuller with each stolen bite. The villagers, now aware of the greedy dogs, began to close in on them. Suddenly, a loud voice boomed across the square, "A stop! Max and Bella, you have caused enough trouble." It was the village elder who had caught them red-pawed. The dogs froze in fear, realizing the consequences of their actions. The villagers gathered around, shaking their heads in disappointment. The village elder scolded them, "You two have shown no respect for the hard work and effort that went into preparing this feast. Your greed has tarnished the joy of this festival for everyone." Max and Bella hung their heads in shame, realizing the error of their ways. They had let their insatiable greed overpower their better judgment. From that day forward, Max and Bella learned a valuable lesson about the consequences of their actions. They vowed to mend their greedy ways and become helpful and considerate members of the village community. And so, with time, Max and Bella transformed into two of the most caring and selfless dogs in the village. They used their energy and intelligence to help others, never forgetting the lessons they had learned. The villagers, impressed by their transformation, embraced Max and Bella, grateful for their newfound generosity. From then on, the two dogs lived a fulfilling life, teaching others the importance of selflessness and the dangers of greed. They became beloved figures in the village, always ready to lend a helping paw to those in need. Whether it was assisting the elderly with their daily chores or comforting a villager in times of sorrow, Max and Bella were always there, spreading kindness and compassion. Their selflessness extended beyond just the villagers. Max and Bella started visiting the nearby animal shelter, spending time with abandoned and neglected animals. They would offer comfort and companionship, helping the animals regain their trust in humans. Many of the animals found forever homes because of Max and Bella's efforts. Word of their acts of kindness spread far and wide, and soon the village became known for its compassionate and caring spirit. People from neighboring towns would come to seek advice from Max and Bella. The two dogs would patiently listen to their problems and offer guidance, reminding them of the importance of community and empathy. As the years went by, Max and Bella grew old, but their legacy lived on. The village established an annual event called a Max and Bella Day, where the entire community would come together to celebrate their teachings of selflessness and kindness. It was a day filled with laughter, joy, and acts of service. Max and Bella's story spread even further, inspiring others to embrace the values they had embodied. Their tale was shared in books, schools, and community gatherings. Their story became a timeless reminder that it was never too late to change one's ways and make a positive impact on the world. And so, Max and Bella's journey from greed to generosity became a legend, reminding everyone that every small act of kindness can create ripples of change. Their transformation had not only impacted their own lives but had also transformed an entire village, leaving a lasting legacy of compassion and selflessness for generations to come. The annual Max and Bella Day became a cherished tradition that brought the community together in a spirit of unity and empathy. On this special day, people would gather at the village square, adorned with colorful decorations and filled with the aroma of delicious food. Laughter echoed through the air as children played games and adults shared stories of their own acts of kindness inspired by Max and Bella. The day began with a heartfelt ceremony, where the village elder would recount the remarkable tale of Max and Bella, emphasizing the importance of community and empathy. Everyone listened intently, their hearts filled with gratitude for the two humble souls who had changed their lives forever. After the ceremony, the festivities would commence. People of all ages would engage in various acts of service, from cleaning up the village streets to planting trees and flowers in the communal garden. The whole village worked as a team, embodying the spirit of Max and Bella's selflessness. The day was also an opportunity for the community to showcase their talents and creativity. Artists would display their paintings and sculptures, musicians would fill the air with melodies, and poets would recite verses dedicated to the virtues of kindness and compassion. It was a celebration of the arts, as well as a celebration of the human capacity for love and understanding. As the sun began to set, the village would gather for a grand feast. Tables were filled with a variety of dishes, each prepared with love and care. People shared stories and laughter, strengthening the bonds that had been formed through their shared commitment to kindness. Max and Bella's story continued to spread far and wide. Their tale reached neighboring villages, inspiring them to create their own traditions of community and empathy. Schools incorporated their story into their curriculum, ensuring that future generations would be raised with an understanding of the power of compassion. In the years that followed, the village thrived. People looked out for one another, lending a helping hand whenever it was needed. The sense of belonging and support became the foundation of their community, making it a place where everyone felt valued and cared for. Max and Bella's journey from greed to generosity had become more than just a legend, it had become a way of life. Their legacy lived on in the hearts and actions of each member of the community. And as the years went by, the village continued to flourish, forever grateful for the two extraordinary beings who had taught them the true meaning of empathy and the importance of coming together as a community. The village became a beacon of hope and inspiration for surrounding communities. People from far and wide traveled to witness the remarkable transformation that had taken place. They marveled at the genuine kindness and compassion that radiated from every corner of the village. Word of the village's incredible sense of community spread even further, reaching the ears of leaders and influencers in the region. They were intrigued by the village's success and wanted to understand the secret behind their unity. Leaders from neighboring towns and cities visited the village, seeking guidance on how to foster a similar sense of belonging and empathy within their own communities. They met with the villagers, listened to their stories, and learned from their experiences. Inspired by Max and Bella's story, these leaders began implementing changes in their own communities. They organized events that fostered connection and understanding among their residents. They encouraged acts of kindness and generosity, creating a ripple effect that spread throughout the region. Schools across the land incorporated Max and Bella's tale into their curriculum, teaching children about the power of compassion and empathy. The younger generation grew up with a deep understanding of the importance of caring for one another, carrying the legacy of Max and Bella in their hearts. As the years went by, the village continued to thrive. New generations were born, and they were raised with the values of compassion and community that had been ingrained in the village's culture. People found solace and support in their neighbors, knowing that they were never alone in times of need. The village became known as a sanctuary, not just for its physical beauty, but for the love and unity that permeated every interaction. It was a place where individuals could find comfort, support, and a sense of purpose. Max and Bella's story lived on, not just in the village, but in the hearts and actions of all those who had been touched by its message. Their journey from greed to generosity had sparked a movement of kindness that continued to grow and spread. And so, the legacy of Max and Bella endured, reminding people everywhere of the power of empathy and the profound impact that can be made when a community comes together. The village stood as a testament to the fact that change is possible, and that even the smallest acts of kindness can transform lives and create a world where everyone feels valued and cared for. As the village continued to thrive, its reputation as a haven of compassion and support began to attract people from all walks of life. Families seeking a nurturing environment for their children, individuals looking for a fresh start, and even businesses wanting to align themselves with the village's values all flocked to become part of this extraordinary community. The village's leaders, inspired by Max and Bella's story, implemented initiatives to foster a sense of belonging and togetherness. They organized regular community events, such as festivals, picnics, and volunteer projects, where villagers could come together to celebrate, share their talents, and give back to those in need. Top short story about Greedy Dog and Other Stories. Once upon a time, there was a greedy dog named Max. Max was always on the lookout for opportunities to snatch food from others. One day, as he was wandering through the streets, he spotted a piece of juicy bone lying near a garbage bin. His eyes widened with greed, and he quickly snatched it up. But as Max trotted away, a group of stray dogs noticed his prized possession. They began chasing him, barking loudly, their eyes filled with hunger. Max, being outnumbered, knew he had to escape. In his panic, he decided to cross a narrow bridge over a deep river. As he ran across the bridge, Max glanced down and saw his own reflection in the water. Thinking it was another dog with an even bigger bone, he couldn't resist the temptation to grab it. With a leap, he tried to snatch the bone from his own reflection, but ended up losing his own bone in the process. Max realized his mistake too late. He had been so consumed by his own greed that he lost what he already had. He stood there, watching his bones sink into the river, feeling a deep sense of regret. This story serves as a reminder that greed can blind us and cause us to lose what we already possess. It teaches us the importance of gratitude and contentment. In another part of the town, there lived a kind-hearted old woman named Mrs. Johnson. She had a beautiful garden filled with colorful flowers. Every morning she would water them, tend to them, and lovingly watch them grow. One day, a young girl named Lily passed by Mrs. Johnson's garden. She was amazed by the vibrant blooms and the sweet fragrance that filled the air. Enchanted by the beauty, Lily decided to pluck a few flowers to take home. When Mrs. Johnson noticed the missing flowers, she felt sad. She knew that someone had taken them without permission. The next day, she put up a sign near her garden that read, "Please enjoy the beauty, but do not take what is not yours." Lily, feeling guilty, read the sign and realized her mistake. She went to Mrs. Johnson's house and apologized for taking the flowers. Mrs. Johnson forgave her and explained the importance of respecting others' property. From that day forward, Lily learned to appreciate the beauty of nature without taking it away from others. She would often visit Mrs. Johnson's garden, admiring the flowers and finding solace in their presence. This story teaches us the value of respecting others' belongings and being grateful for the beauty that surrounds us. In yet another part of the town, there was a little boy named Timmy. Timmy loved playing with his toys, but he often got tired of them quickly. He would ask his parents for new toys every now and then, leaving the old ones forgotten in a corner. One day, Timmy's parents decided to teach him a lesson about appreciation. They collected all his toys and placed them in a box. They told him that if he wanted a new toy, he had to choose one from the box and give away one of his old toys to someone in need. At first, Timmy was reluctant. He didn't want to give away any of his toys. But as he started choosing new toys, he realized that there were children who didn't have any toys at all. He understood the joy of sharing and making others happy. From that day on, Timmy learned to appreciate his toys and take care of them. He also started donating his old toys to children who needed them, spreading happiness and kindness. This story teaches us the importance of gratitude, generosity, and the joy of giving. In conclusion, these stories remind us of important life lessons. The Greedy Dog's Tale teaches us the dangers of greed and the importance of contentment. Mrs. Johnson's garden story highlights the significance of respecting others' belongings. And Timmy's toy story teaches us the value of gratitude and sharing. These stories serve as reminders to be mindful of our actions, appreciate what we have, and treat others with kindness and respect. These stories serve as reminders to be mindful of our actions, appreciate what we have, and treat others with kindness and respect. They show us the power of small acts of kindness and how they can make a difference in someone else's life. The story of Timmy's toy donation is particularly inspiring. It teaches us that sometimes, letting go of something we love can bring even greater joy to someone else. Timmy's initial reluctance to give away his toys is something many of us can relate to. After all, our possessions often hold sentimental value and letting go can be difficult. But as Timmy saw the smiles on the faces of the children receiving his toys, he realized that the joy of giving far outweighed the temporary attachment he had to his old toys. He learned that sharing what we have not only brings happiness to others but also fills our hearts with a sense of fulfillment. Timmy's experience also taught him the importance of appreciating what he had. As he saw children who had nothing, he began to understand the privilege he had in owning toys. From that day on, he took better care of his toys, knowing that they were valuable possessions that could bring happiness to others. His act of kindness also inspired others around him. Friends and family members started donating their old toys as well, and together they were able to bring joy to even more children in need. Timmy's small act of generosity had a ripple effect, spreading happiness and kindness throughout his community. The story of Timmy's toy donation reminds us that we all have the power to make a difference, no matter how small it may seem. Whether it's donating toys, volunteering, or simply showing kindness to others, every act of generosity has the potential to bring joy to someone's life. So let us learn from these stories and strive to practice gratitude, generosity, and kindness in our own lives. Let us appreciate what we have and be willing to share with others who are in need. By doing so, we can create a world filled with compassion, understanding, and happiness for all. Timmy's act of kindness didn't stop at just donating toys. He realized that there were other ways he could make a positive impact on the lives of those less fortunate. Inspired by his toy donation experience, Timmy decided to organize a small fundraiser in his community to raise money for a local children's charity. With the help of his friends and family, Timmy organized a bake sale and a small carnival in his backyard. They baked delicious treats, set up game booths, and invited everyone in the neighborhood to join in the fun. The event was a huge success, and they were able to raise a significant amount of money for the charity. Encouraged by the community's response, Timmy and his friends continued to organize fundraisers throughout the year. They held garage sales, car washes, and even organized a charity run. Each event brought more people together, all united by the common goal of helping those in need. Timmy's acts of generosity soon caught the attention of local media, and his story started spreading far beyond his community. People from neighboring towns and cities were inspired by his selflessness and began organizing similar events in their own areas. The ripple effect of Timmy's kindness continued to grow. Companies and businesses reached out to offer their support, donating money, toys, and other resources to the cause. The children's charity that Timmy initially supported saw a significant increase in donations, allowing them to expand their programs and reach even more children in need. In recognition of his extraordinary efforts, Timmy was honored with a Community Service Award. But for Timmy, the true reward was seeing the smiles on the faces of the children who benefited from his actions. Timmy's story serves as a reminder that acts of kindness, no matter how small, can have a profound impact on the lives of others. It shows us that we all have the power to make a difference, and that by coming together as a community, we can create a better world for everyone. So let us be inspired by Timmy's story and strive to make a difference in our own lives. Whether it's through donating, volunteering, or spreading kindness, let us remember that even the smallest acts can bring joy and happiness to those in need. Together, we can create a world filled with compassion, understanding, and happiness for all. Timmy's inspiring story touched the hearts of many in the community. People began to realize that they too could make a difference, no matter their age or resources. Inspired by Timmy's selflessness, more individuals started volunteering their time, donating money, and organizing fundraising events to support various causes. The community came together, forming a network of compassion and generosity. They started food drives to help feed families in need, organized clothing and toy drives for underprivileged children, and even initiated mentorship programs to provide guidance and support to at-risk youth. Timmy's story became a catalyst for change, igniting a chain reaction of kindness and empathy. People began to look beyond their own needs and started reaching out to their neighbors, friends, and even strangers in need. The community became a place where everyone felt valued, supported, and cared for. As the years went by, Timmy continued his philanthropic efforts, always seeking out new ways to make a positive impact. His story inspired others to do the same, creating a ripple effect that spread far and wide. Timmy's journey taught us that it's not about the size of the contribution, but rather the intention and love behind it. A simple act of kindness can brighten someone's day, bring hope to the hopeless, and remind us all of the inherent goodness within humanity. So let us carry Timmy's spirit with us, reminding ourselves that we have the power to create change. Let us be kind and compassionate, knowing that our actions, no matter how small, can make a world of difference to someone in need. Together, as a united community, we can build a future filled with love, understanding, and happiness for all. Let us embrace Timmy's legacy and continue to make the world a better place, one act of kindness at a time. Let us remember Timmy as a beacon of hope and inspiration, a reminder that we all have the ability to make a difference in the lives of others. His selflessness and dedication